When a client asks for your deepest pressure and you give him or her everything you have, and then they still say the pressure isn't good enough and are dissatisfied, how are you supposed to respond? I get so angry. What can I do? What should I do? I know we have all been through this when clients say you can't hurt me, go as deep as you can. So let's read through some of the responses and see what other people have to say. My comment says, I will tell clients there's over 300 styles of massage out there or more. So what type of deep tissue are they referring to? If they mean hard pressure, I can only do that in certain areas of the body. And I'm very straightforward with telling clients that I also have a connective tissue disorder, so I can only work up to my own threshold without damaging myself in the process. Most clients aren't going to keep pushing me after I tell them, and if they do, I just say simply, I'm unable to. You might want to try cupping instead. I love that my work has hydraulic tables because I can always step on them if they really need deeper pressure. Cupping is a great tool for those that need it. That's because everyone's gotten the lingo confused. There is deep tissue, which means we are working the fascia. We're pushing muscles and stripping connective tissue. Deep tissue is done with little to no oils or lubricants, where deep pressure is a different beast and can be added to any modality of massage. But you have to remember that the body has structural components related to its electrical system and chemical system. You cannot do for the body what is being hydrated, properly salted, and fully mineralized can do. I learned I had to communicate with them about that process and start selling magnesium and sports salts, trace minerals, and pointing people to the correct salt for their water and going over how much hydration they can get. Learn that you have to move the body, unwind it first, shake it loose from face up first, and then use the laws of leverages. If that's not enough, introduce some sort of Theragun, make them go into deep breathing, engage them in diaphragmatic breathing. Start face up to end face down. Always start and ending with your hand on the complaints. I wrote this comment a while back. Tell them that no amount of deep pressure is going to get rid of the deep-rooted resentment they have towards their father. That's obviously a little unsavory, seen through another lens. So I'm sorry people got offended by that, but it was just an extreme sarcastic way to express to my colleagues that no amount of deep pressure is going to get rid of all the deep-rooted emotions they have towards whatever caused them to have it to begin with. So that's what I meant. I was just saying this in a massage group, but it's true. We do store our emotions in our bodies, and no amount of deep pressure is going to help that. Sometimes we just need to go to therapy. I work for myself, so if I have a client like this, I'll offer a time of planning out future treatments. In this conversation, I teach them about the nervous system and why more pain and deeper pressure isn't needed, and that too much of a good thing is bad, tissue damage, etc. I know a great therapist that may be more effective for your needs. Remove your emotions. You can't give what you don't have. Or in other words, you gave your best. You can't please everyone, and that's okay. She needs and wants something more or different. Send her on her way, and no, you don't have to refer. She can find her own. I would still refer, especially if you have a colleague. It's always nice to have one or two colleagues that you're familiar with. I know how I'm built and what my physical limits are. I know how far I can push when necessary and for how long without hurting myself. I had one client one time give him literally everything physically I had. I checked in on the pressure. He said he couldn't feel it, but knew I had to warm up the muscles first. Immediately after, I professionally told him I'm not strong enough for his needs and gave him a referral before he left. There is simply only so much we can do, even with all the tricks of the trade. We are not for every client. Every client is not for us. It is not a personal stain on our reputation or question of our skill level. My goal is my client's well-being, so I do not care if someone doesn't like my massages as long as they find someone better fit for them. And this is true. We cannot accommodate to every single client. And of course, as we know, as massage therapists and licensed body workers, deep tissue and deep pressure are absolutely not the same. Of course, what clients mean when they see deep pressure is they mean firm pressure. I want to feel it. I don't want to be tickled. So I have to have this conversation with almost every single client. Sonia says, the more specific work, slow down, sink in. Think not all tissue needs to be treated the same way, meaning you don't need to punish every piece of their body. Many times people don't realize what that want is more specific work, not deep everywhere. So focus on applying the pressure to trigger points to lessen pain. Honestly, I'm like to medium pressure. I specifically tell them I'm sorry. I'm more light to medium pressure. I can give you the heaviest pressure I can, but this is all I can do for you. At the end of the service, if they're disappointed, I'll let them know if they want it more pressure, tell the front desk and book them with someone medium to firm. And I actually tell my clients at the beginning of the appointment, before they can even say anything, that I do a variety of different pressures and techniques in order to help their nervous system as well as their physical or muscular tension. That tends to do the trick. And typically, I don't have clients even asking me to go deeper to begin with. Do not damage yourself just to damage someone else. Refer them out. Your health and energy is worth more. Set boundaries to protect yourself and your clients. That can be more effective for. If I can't help, I refer out. Others won't even have more pressure, but a different approach, and some personalities match better. My ideal clients do want pressure, but I also work with me in stretches and warming up the areas, as well as receptive to breathing cues. That's good. I love making clients work as well. Just let them know you went as deep as you could safely go for them and for yourself to prevent injury. Encourage them to rebook. They're not going to get it all worked out in one session, and if they need super deep pressure, super deep tissue, they definitely need to be more consistent. Maybe recommend cupping and stretching during the session. Otherwise, you can inform that it may not be a good fit and it's okay if they need to find another therapist. We can't please everyone. All we can do is educate them and set our boundaries. A lot of times clients will end up rebooking with you, maybe refer them to a roving practitioner. Pressure isn't about pushing, it's about where to place it. You can push down all day with all your weight, but if you do not understand where the pressure point is, your client will be disappointed. There's no reason for you to be angry if you did your best, but if you book a client under the pretense that you understand deep tissue massage and cannot deliver, then why should they not be upset? Well, anonymous person, they probably are working for someone else, and businesses do have a business to run. They have to make profit. They're going to book with whatever therapist is available at that time. They paid you for a service that you said you could do, but you couldn't. This is why it's so important to know your limitations, to build on your skills, take courses in your areas of lack, or just simply not advertise something you cannot do. Had to end a session 25 minutes into it because a lady who usually sees a different therapist wanted deep pressure I couldn't give. I kept asking. She wanted more and more and more. I told her this is all the pressure I could physically give so we can end the session early and schedule with someone else. She wasn't happy, but you can't always satisfy everyone's needs, and that's okay. In this situation, it wasn't about educating the client because she already gets what she likes and wants from another therapist. And that just wasn't available that day, so I didn't feel the need to try and educate her, so to speak, when she could just rebook with another therapist. Stop moving. Find the spot that needs to be worked out. Hold isolated pressure there. No one has ever said that wasn't enough pressure. Bonus. Watch your posture. The right hand elbow position can make this a lovely core workout for you. Standard Swedish massage techniques do not work well for someone wanting very deep pressure. Refer the client or consider some continuing education training and expand your skill set. Release with the movement, pin and stretch type techniques that engage the client are more effective for deep tissue work and they're much easier on you. True, however, clients think that deep tissue means firm pressure. Thai massage is a good place to start. Sports massage techniques with stretching and range of motion and techniques such as active release and muscle skeletal alignment techniques are more effective. Bring an instrument, assisted massage techniques, Graston or gua sha, cupping, Theraguns, electric massage tools. Use a heating pad to warm up the tissue and then work on another area. You need something beyond Swedish and standard myofascial to deal with this. Explain your skills or refer the client out, but don't beat yourself up over it either. Some clients and therapists are not a good fit for each other, and that's okay. I've enjoyed these clients. Pressure is always discussed when they say go as hard as possible. I'll typically laugh and respond with, it's good to know you can handle deep pressures. Now, how I operate is I listen to the tissue. I'll go as deep as the tissue will allow. As we work, the muscles will loosen up and allow us to work deeper into them. But I won't force the tissues. I ask that you trust your therapist. You'll feel the results when you get up from the table. Nice. Typically, they agree, and by the end of the session, we've achieved the results that they want. They feel great, and I'm not hurting from trying to accommodate them. Every once in a while, they will come in, and that's just not going to be happy, regardless of the results, because they believe it has to hurt for it to help. Right? I'm so sick of the no pain, no gain mentality. I'm okay with them seeing another therapist. I'm happy to refer. Remember a couple of things. At the end of the day, your license is on the line. So if you hurt them trying to accommodate them, that can affect your career. Secondly, do your best within your means. You know what it takes to decrease hypertonicity and address trigger points. So just try to get your clients to let you do what you do best in your own way. We have to educate the public that no, it does not have to hurt to be super deep, to be effective and achieve the results we aim for. No, just no. Suggest you look for someone else. I find the people who want the deepest pressure are usually very disassociated and not able to sense their body or emotions much at all. Or they have been sensitized by super deep therapists who think no pain, no gain. I use pressure as necessary to get a change in the muscle tissue to help them notice the change. I used to love those people. I love watching the responses when I referred them out. They expected me to try even more, but shocked to learn I was willing to let go of the money and business before my energy and health. It was actually very satisfying to the soul. Try it. It will make a difference in your future responses and how you mentally and emotionally feel next time, because there's always a next time. P.S. Don't explain yourself more than once to anyone. A one-liner of referral will be sufficient. Don't let this work drain you. Are they chasing a high? Would be my thought. They might be so overstimulated that the body can't process anything. I tell them to go heal that inner trauma and refer them to a Thai or Ashiatsu therapist. What about using wood or other tougher tools? Don't be afraid to get them up. It may pay off in the long run, meaning you won't hurt yourself. Lower your table, keep your elbow close to your body, and lean in. I would charge the session in full and tell them in the future to book with another therapist. Let them know that you gave 100% effort and that you two are not a good fit for each other. Don't let it make you mad. It's all good. No one can make everyone happy. Just do your best. That's all you can do. Offer to end the treatment. Let them go somewhere else. They aren't worth hurting yourself for. Gracefully bow out and send them for a sports massage. If you put your best pressure and the customer is still not satisfied, it's time to respectfully tell them to find someone else. I'm just honest. I say this is as deep as I can go without injuring myself, so if you need someone deeper, you'll have to find someone else. I do what I can and tell them we're not a good fit and move on. I've had only one client get mad, but I'm still in business. Right? There's always going to be more clients. I ask my clients that beg for more pressure if there are certain results they're looking for. It's a great question. Because deep tissue isn't always the answer. You are in fact only human and have limits, so I would ask what result they're looking for and search for an alternative method. If it's just the feeling of getting smushed thereafter, then refer out. Don't ever give all you have. It's not worth it. When you get close to doing that, you're in the danger zone. You can hurt yourself and it can be a real energy drain. You have to have the energy to take care of yourself after clocking out and going home too. That client is not a good fit for you and they need someone else. Your anger is indicating a breach of boundaries that you need to listen to. You say, I'm sorry, but that's my max pressure. I can't go further without risking injury for myself. When they hear that you can risk injuring yourself by giving too much, that usually stops them in their tracks. And a good understanding client will never want you to hurt yourself to drain your energy for them or drain yourself for them. When I had enough giving my max pressure to clients after injuring myself multiple times at a high-end spa, I said to this one very large male client in session, and he understood immediately. We ended the session. I stepped out to let the manager know. After the guy robed up and came out the room, I saw him sit down in the lounge to wait for the manager. The manager just found someone else who could give him more pressure, and I never saw him again. It can be that simple. You don't have to please every client to take away all their pain. You're not a bad therapist if you can't make them feel all better. You're not for everyone, and clients don't take care of themselves. Right? So many clients are dehydrated and don't have enough electrolytes and don't do anything in between doing self-care. And most clients are going to be doing the aftercare, not the self-care, and we have to train them to do more self-care. Massage is subjective. They may not just be your client, and that's okay. I would refer them to an Ashi therapist or a male therapist. The thing people don't understand is that no amount of forcing will allow trauma or deep-seated emotional issues to release. That is done with softness and is more emotional shadow work that the person must undertake themselves, though they can be helped of course. Our tissues hold our issues, and I've seen some crazy stuff over the past years that front in terms of meditation, yoga, and emotional healing, but people just want a quick fix that, quite frankly, doesn't really exist. In this case, you're not the right person for the client. The caveat would be if you feel like you have another way to provide a solution for their need and can explain that to them in a way they're interested in considering. As an example, I have a list of therapies who I can refer my clients to for things I don't want to provide. There's nothing wrong with accepting the fact that you cannot fulfill an individual's request or need. Refer out, don't beat yourself up over it. You have to get out of the muscles and work the tissues that give the most feeling. Muscles are essentially a muted meat suit on top and in between where you need to go. Learn Rapid to save your hand sanity and better help your people. Rapid has been pretty result oriented from what I've seen online, and it can be that quick fix, quote unquote. Thai massage, table tie, lean in with the knee, work them differently than you have been. Kristen is an incredible Thai instructor, next level pain relief instructor. And if clients want that type of deep work, I think they just need to be stepped on, I know that we all have had some form of going through this type of experience. So let me know what you think in the comments and how you would respond to them. Okay, here's another one for you. Gosh, don't you hate it when you're doing your initial touch of oil and first touch on the client's skin and they say, "Can you go harder?" That annoys me. Oof. Oh my God. Let's dive into these comments. As a trauma survivor, I know that light touch can feel threatening for me especially, and that's why some people ask for harder, deeper pressure. The anticipation of what's coming next can feel unsettling, and they want to know and settle into what's going to be happening. It's predictable and it feels safe. So I will say something like, I wait for your body to respond and allow me to do that. This is telling their body what is coming next, and I know what I'm doing. I'm listening, and it's safe. All the best body work takes time. We're building up to the pressure you'd like. I always let clients know I start with lighter pressure to warm up the tissues, but I get deeper as I go. I always say I'm just getting started because calm down, like for real, right? That's when I know they're not going to relax the whole massage, so I say give your muscles time to warm up. I tell them, can I turn on the engine before I drive the car? Warm it up, baby. That's a really good one. I like that one. I say something along the lines of, you have to marinate the meat before you throw it on the grill. I tell them ahead of time that after I apply the oil, then I will begin the massage and check in with them about pressure. That's good to create those expectations as well. I appreciate the feedback, but cringe when they say this or try to tell me how to do massage in general. I do respond to this with, as I get into more specific work, trust me, you will feel it. And when you do, let me know if anything is too intense. Then I give the pain scale and tell them I am over a 6, I can ease up. I don't do all over deep pressure than what my body can handle, and if they're still not happy, I refer out. I am very deep tissue, as in I'll get to the psoas and subscaps, and some of the fascia work can be very intense, but I'm not here to break myself on brick walls. For real. I always let my new clients know massage will start off lighter then intensify as we go in progress. As someone who gets massages once a week, I communicate with the LMT immediately and let them know what I'm wanting in my treatment. You wouldn't imagine the amount of sports and deep tissue I get, even when booking Swedish and specifically for Swedish. It doesn't have to feel personal. I'd prefer someone be honest about their expectations and help them receive what they're paying for. I only offer one single treatment so clients know what we're doing. Yes, let me get started, please. I'm in a PT clinic at the moment. I ask all new patients if they've had any kind of massage before and what type and setting. Then I explain to them that this is therapeutic, but most all massages are in general. I'm working from a treatment plan specifically designed for their injury that has been prescribed by the PT. Yes, you will be relaxed. I don't have to torture you for deep tissue. No, I won't tell anyone if you snore and they can't hear you. Please don't help me lift your arms or legs. Just try to relax. They end up following my schedule. Feel free to go harder 2 seconds in. Right? I think that's what we're all thinking. I have just started having this combo with them ahead of time. Various wording depending on their person and their vibe, but something along the lines of, don't worry, I'm not going to pet you. We will find your happy place. Pressure, take a deep breath with me. I will check in with you after a few minutes. I start every deep session with, I'm going to start out on the lighter side and warm up the muscles and start communication with the guys that need help, and we'll increase pressure as we go. They seem to do a lot less of the press harder commentary. They'll still ask for deeper pressure in some areas later on in the session, but at least they get me going first. Sometimes they'll ask why, and that's okay. I just explain why. That isn't a door we want to go through like a Kool-Aid man. LOL, we want healing. I tell them thank you. As the massage continues, I'll definitely be getting into deeper layers, but first your nervous system has to know I'm the good guy. Before I undrape, I start every session with compressions for at least 3 minutes, depending on how tight they are. The pressure starts to slow until I sink in with deep. I love doing pressure point work and compressions and rocking motions and Japanese Alma massage, a little bit of Tuina. It really helps to relax the nervous system and get the client into a relaxed state. I usually tell my deep tissue clients I'll start with the lighter pressure, work deeper as I get the muscles warmed up, and that typically prevents them from asking why I'm not digging in with my elbows right from the first touch. I had one yesterday and I was all grit face emoji. We'll get there. And then she turned out to be my favorite client. I think they're just excited for their massage. I'm always like, yes, don't worry, I will. I'm just applying the oil right now. I always like opening with aromatherapy because I think that it sets the tone. Hi, I'm here. I'm starting the massage. I'm just getting going. Especially in a spa setting, I tend to think that helps them, especially as they're taking a deep breath. It feels like they're questioning my abilities. I tell my clients during intake that I will go as deep as the tissue allows and that I will work up to it. That usually nips it in the bud. I always let them know I start off light to assess the tissue in the area. Once your body accepts my touch, I can go deeper. I've never had that problem anymore. At the beginning of a massage, I usually warm up the body with some myofascial compression over the sheets. That being said, once the client had the audacity to ask me 15 seconds into the first touch, are you even going to touch my skin, or is this going to be all over the sheet the whole time? Oh my God, I bit my tongue so hard at this. I responded with, and I stuttered mine, I'm working towards that. I do this to get your body ready. And my hands warm because they always start cold. So this one is my comment. It got a lot of likes, but I don't want to claim it. Somebody from Badass Body Workers. I forgot who it was, but I can tag them when I go back and find their username. I say, thank you for your verbal consent. Now your muscles have to also give me permission to go deeper as well. The mind and body work together. This is such a perfect learning opportunity for us and a reminder that we know the process of the massage, but not all clients do. If we communicate that before they get on the table, i.e. we're starting the session this way, however you want to describe and start it, light touch, I want to be able to assess the muscles and warm up the tissue before I start going into the deeper layers. I'll check in with you as I start to work more directly on specific muscles. I really think we forget because we do so many treatments that not everybody knows how we proceed, and everyone has different expectations, and every therapist is different and every treatment is different. Well said. I start with compressions from feet to shoulders so they feel a good pressure before I begin oil and assessments. I'll go deeper as you get warmed up. Usually my response, I don't ask for pressure feedback until a few minutes in, other than telling them before we begin that they can let me know if we need a pressure adjustment, which I guess opens the door to do it right away. I don't get this one too often. I let all my clients know they are in charge of setting boundaries with pressure, but to also understand my pressure goes from very light to firm when needed. Yes, especially since we have discussed their preferred pressure before I left the room to get them on the table, I'll always take a little time to build up to that depth. Tell them patience. You'll get to the right pressure when the body lets you dive in deeper. Just because the brain says yes doesn't mean it's time. Doesn't mean it's time. Just because the brain says yes doesn't mean it's time. It used to bother me. Now I start with the legs. They are more sensitive to the touch. I tell them in the beginning, I'm going up and down on pressure to find what your body needs. Then I'll ask if the pressure's okay. This usually gives me more time to really give me an idea what the pressure will be like in multiple places. I've had less comments about changing pressure. I start with a couple of SMRT moves. It gets their nervous system to settle right down. For the first ever time the other day, I got a, so what is this? Within the first 60 seconds, I responded with, sorry, I'm confused. She continued with, so this is like part of the massage or me? Girl, this is the massage. Dead emoji. Oh my God. Yes, I always say I haven't begun the massage yet. I'm just applying the oil. I'm going to warm you up and check in on pressure soon. I'm started with just warming up your tissue. We'll get there. Take a nice, slow, steady, easy breath. They need to be grounded and chill. It's a conversation with the tissues. You don't just start mid story or immediately reveal your darkest secret. Or when you're working very deep and they say, can you make the pressure harder? Well, no, frankly, I can't. It's not safe in some areas, and my body has reached its maximum pressure limit. And this is where I work smarter, not harder, comes in. It's not the first time I've done this. That's funny. Just shushing them. Your muscles aren't ready yet. Okay, folks, what are some of the things that your clients have said to you? Is this one of your pet peeves? If so, write it down in the comments, share it with us, and let us know how you would respond to these clients.